Today on Sports Showtime, we look at men's basketball exciting triple overtime finish against Alabama.
And later, we'll take a look at LeBron James' sweet pregame warm-up that he should have, could have, but did not use in the dunking contest.
And that's all coming your way and much more next.
Welcome to the Sports Desk, a segment of Sports Showtime. I'm Bat Brunner.
And I'm Sydney Armstrong. Well, Bat, we had a crazy weekend full of LSU wins.
You're right, Sydney. From exciting finishes from both the men and women's basketball team, the LSU baseball team destroyed the Lions from Southeastern University as well.
And since we last saw you on Thursday, the Tigers went 2-1, featuring the Tigers' first walk-off victory, rain delay, and loss of the season. The Tigers are ranked 4th nationally by Baseball America, and senior left fielder Rafe Rhymes batted .533. That's 8 for 15 in the Tigers' 4 games last week, with 2 doubles and 6 RBIs. Also, Mason Katz rediscovered his power, hitting 2 home runs on the weekend. The team got strong performances from starters Ryan Eaves and Aaron Nola, who both have sub-1 eras of the year. Sophomore pitcher Cody Glenn will get the start tonight. LSU baseball hit the road to take on the ULL Raging Cajuns. First pitch is underway, and we will keep you updated with any score changes.
Last Saturday at the PMAC, the men's basketball team took on the Alabama Crimson Tide in one of, if not the most exciting game of the season for the Tigers. Tigers found a way back from being 10 points down with just 3 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game to send the teams to overtime. But it took 3 overtimes and 51 minutes of play before the Tigers could pull out a win in this electrifying game in the first triple overtime game in Maravich Center history. Anthony Hickey hit his only 3-pointer of the game in the third OT period and led the team to the 97-94 victory. And of course, the big man, Johnny O'Bryant, led the Tigers with 10 rebounds and 3 assists to go with 24 points. Charles Carmouche and O'Bryant are the first LSU players to get 50 minutes of playing time since Maurice Carter in 1999. Our Tigers take on the Arkansas Razorbacks Wednesday night at 7 o'clock in the PMAC. And according to BankrollSports.com, LSU is currently projected to be a 4 seed in the NIT.
The Lady Tigers took on the number 7 Kentucky Wildcats Sunday afternoon in the PMAC, and yet another thrilling game. LSU got off to a great start, shooting 64% overall in the first half, while also making 5 3-point shots. A 7-0 run by the Tigers put them up by 11 at the end of the half, and the Tigers maintained their lead over the Wildcats through most of the second half and went on to win the game 77-72. Kenny had a career high of 22 points and made all 5 of her 3-point attempts. And junior forward Teresa Plaisance earned her 5th double-double of the season. Head coach Nikki Caldwell said she was proud of the way her team played against such a big team.
Defensively, our effort and our ability to out-rebound our opponents the last 6 games has been an indicator of a team that's on a mission. A great win over a great team in Kentucky.
The last chance to catch the Tigers in the SEC action is this Thursday against Alabama at 7 p.m. in the PMAC. And ESPN.com's bracketology for the women's NCAA basketball tournament currently has the Lady Tigers projected to be an 8th seed, playing the first round right here in Baton Rouge.
Well, folks, around the nation, and that's not to be mistaken with our sports segment with Derek Kopp coming up soon, Tiger Stadium is known as one of the toughest places to play. But it's not just the football Tigers who have a home field advantage. Seth Holland has more.
The LSU tennis program has called WT Dub Robinson Stadium home for nearly 4 decades. Named in honor of a former standout head coach that elevated the tennis program to national prominence, the Dub, as it is nicknamed, has proven to be an advantageous venue for the Tigers over the years. Since head coach Jeff Brown took over in the 1998 season, the men's team has accumulated 149 wins to just 41 losses at home.
You're energized by your home crowd. Your confidence is higher just based on the success that you know of.
This season, both the men and the women's squads are undefeated at Robinson Stadium, in which women's head coach Julia Sell says is in part credited to Tiger fans.
We have the best fans in the world, and if you ever come to the matches, they're right on top of you here at the Dub, so they're right in your ear. It's hard for you to give up, give in, or even get down on yourself when you've got that support behind you cheering you on.
The men's team looked to stay perfect at home against Texas Tech Friday evening, but was postponed until March due to rain. The women, however, continued LSU's dominance at the Dub in their Saturday afternoon doubleheader by sweeping Nicholls State, followed by an even more impressive sweep of Grambling State. Senior E.B. Wilson, who has given up just one game in her last 2 singles matches at home, reinforces that it's the fans that gives her and her teammates their home field advantage.
It's definitely the atmosphere. The fans are just electric. LSU fans are the best in the country. It brings on the best in everybody every time we get to play at home.
The men and women are a combined 9-0 in Baton Rouge this season, providing plenty of reasons for Tiger fans to cheer. For Tiger TV, this is Seth Hewlin.
The women's tennis team opens SEC play against Vanderbilt at home on Friday, March 1st. And the men's team returns to the Dub on March 8th to take on the Auburn Tigers. All right, folks, it's halftime at the sports desk, and you guessed it, it's our very own Derek Kopp. Next, this week on Derek's Plate, he has the most current news on our Tigers going to the NFL draft and a scary weekend in racing. Derek, I saw some photos from that crash. There was nobody severely injured, or at least killed, were there?
Well, luckily nobody was killed. There were some injured, about 30 people were injured, but we'll have that and much more coming up after the break. Welcome back to Sports Showtime. I'm Derek Kopp with this week's edition of Around the Nation. Well, one thing is for sure after watching this weekend in sports, it's a good thing you were not in Daytona on Saturday for the nationwide race, as carnage was unleashed on the final straightaway. Coming off of turn 4, Regan Smith in front, but he gets spun around by Brad Keselowski, last year's Sprint Cup champion. And well, that just sets off a chain reaction wreck that wipes out several cars, including that of Kyle Larson, who, as you can see in this video, pinwheels into the catch fence. That is a dangerous situation for a lot of fans. A lot of the stories coming out were tires being launched into the front row. As you can see here in a second, the engine block was just sitting right outside the fence. I mean, that's just, with the car ricocheting off, that is a big concern for the safety of NASCAR. But luckily, there were no drivers seriously injured in the crash, but a total of 33 fans were injured, 2 of which were taken to the hospital with critical injuries. Both of them are fine now. But what's more surprising about this is that it came one day before the Super Bowl of NASCAR, the Daytona 500. And with a hole in the catch fence, the question was, could they repair everything before the 500? But after working through the night, crews fixed the fence, and well, we went racing. With pole sitter Danica Patrick getting some final words of advice from teammate and car owner Tony Stewart, we took the green flag, but she would not end up leading the first lap as Jeff Gordon would take over the spot. And she hung in the race really well, but there's the wreck on lap 33 as they come out of the tri-oval. Casey Kane gets loose and causes a multi-car wreck, and that took out 2 of the big contenders, Tony Stewart, as you can see, and also Kevin Harvick, 2 big-time Daytona 500 winners. It took 90 laps, but Patrick would finally make history yet again in NASCAR, becoming the first woman to lead a green flag lap in the Daytona 500. And with 51 laps left, Matt Kenseth, who led 86 laps, that was the most in the race, would end up not paying off as he ended up getting engine trouble late in the race. Final lap, they're coming off the final turn. It's Jimmy Johnson who holds off his teammate Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Johnson wins the 55th running of the Daytona 500 for his second 500 victory. The stars of NASCAR will be back on the track next Sunday in Phoenix. And it's been a week since the trade deadline, and after no moves made to ship out Eric Gordon or any other trades for the Hornets, they look to press on tonight against the Brooklyn Nets in New Orleans. The Nets are coming into New Orleans riding a 2-game losing streak currently, while the Hornets are coming off an impressive performance against the lowly Kings on Saturday. The former first-round pick Anthony Davis ended up with 20 points and 8 rebounds against the Kings, and he hopes to continue the hot streak tonight versus the Nets. The game will be on Fox Sports New Orleans at 7. And well, now that the Combine has officially ended, and for the 13 Tigers that were showcasing their skills to the NFL owners, they hope that they made a lasting impression. And well, lucky for some of these Tigers, they took this weekend's opportunity in Indianapolis and did not disappoint with their performances. Linebacker Kevin Minter ran a 4.81 40 while putting up 25 on the bench press. Defensive lineman Sam Montgomery ran a 4.68 40 while posting a broad jump of 114 inches. Another impressive defensive performance was by none other than the former Honey Badger, who disappointed with a mere 4 reps on the bench press, but managed to pull it together with a 4.5 40 and a good performance in his hands drills. However, I don't think anybody helped their draft stock more than Barcavius Kiki Mingo. As one of the former stars of the LSU stacked defensive line, he managed to lead all defensive line with a 40 of 4.58 and a vertical that was also one of the top jumps of 37 inches. With a performance like this, there should be no doubt that the athletic defensive end will be picked within the first 10 picks of April's draft. Next up in preparation for the draft is the LSU Pro Day on March 27th in the football facility. And thanks for watching Around the Nation. I'm Derek Kopp. I'll see you next Tuesday for all your sports news. Back to Sydney and Bat.
Thanks, Derek. Next up, LeBron James didn't have an ordinary warm-up in this game.
Well, maybe it's normal for him, but the real question, how can someone dunk this good? We've got his warm-up dunk coming up next.
Welcome back to the show. Sydney, I was a little disappointed in the slam dunk contest this year.
Me too.
But check out these moves from LBJ. LeBron James, of course. The second dunk would have had him crowned the slam dunk champion over Terrence Ross. Faux show.
Faux show. I mean, look at this dunk. It is just absolutely crazy. And it's a warm-up dunk. He wasn't even playing the game, guys.
Don't
Replay
understand.
and, oh my God, it's just so good.
It's unfortunate because players like that really should keep this contest going.
Yeah, I
in
don't
the
know.
great days with Spud Webb and Michael Jordan.
Don't know why that wasn't added to the NBA All-Star Game. Would have made it that much better.
That's true. Well, folks, that's it for tonight on Sports Showtime. You can watch full episodes online at tigertv.tv.
And also, don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the latest news at ttv_sports.
We're here Tuesday through Thursday at 6 o'clock on Campus Channel 75. Tune in and catch up with us. Well, folks, for Sydney Armstrong, I'm Bat Brunner. So long, everyone. Keep this country democratic by voting next week in the SG elections.